Hey guys, I have another Drugstore Foundation that I want to share with you that I have found that I absolutely love, and I just can't keep it a secret. I can't keep it to myself. I look shiny because I just put moisturizer on. I'm not oily, I promise. I just happened upon this. I saw someone review it on YouTube, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So I thought, it's only like $8, and I thought I had to try it. So I actually saw this primer and foundation, and it's not the same brand, so I have something a little bit new to share with you. But I ordered both from Target, and I got them in the mail, and I've been trying them out. So this isn't something like this is a new product that I'm just trying out for the first time. I've tried these out for a few days now, and I found that these two work really well together with a lot of my other primers. So these two are really good. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you is this Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot primer. And if you are a shiny girl, this is going to be one of the best drugstore primers that you can absolutely come across. I do not remember the price of this. I was trying to think of it just now, and I cannot remember how much I paid for this. I do remember the price of the foundation, but I don't remember this. I will put it down below though. But this stuff is so good. You get an ounce, and it says it has Shine Block 12-hour matte spheres and pore strength technology. What more could you ask for? I mean, really, that's all I want in a primer. So when I got it, I was a little skeptical. Just, you know, it's a drugstore foundation or a drugstore primer. Is it going to be any good? And it's pretty good. So it's from Soap and Glory. I don't know if I said that, but it's called One Heck of a Blot. So I'm just going to squeeze some out here. It kind of looks like a lotion, so I just use a little bit. I'm just going to rub it in. And I focus on my problem areas. Now, if you are a person who is not worried about shine control, if you're like normal skin or dry skin, if you have normal skin, you may not even be worried about a primer. If you want something that's pore filling, then find, you know, like a pore filling primer. That would be a good one. One of the good pore filling primers that I found from the drugstore is, well, this came from Ulta, but it's in their drugstore section, is the Pore Blur primer from Makeup Revolution. Works really well. It did not, however, I mean, as far as pores, it took care of my pores, but it did not help against shine for me with this foundation. But if you're looking for a primer, if you're dry, anything hydrating, most brands are going to have something that for matte or hydrating or luminous. So just look for the hydrating luminous primer if you're dry, and it's going to help give that extra hydration to your skin. So that's what you're going to need. So now to the start of the show. I was very skeptical about this because it didn't say anything about mattifying, and I thought, it's probably not going to work for me. It's probably going to be too, you know, natural of a finish, because it says it's a natural finish foundation. So I was like, it's going to be too natural, and it's just not going to look good on my skin. And so of course I was just all the negatives all in the beginning. However, it wears wonderfully with this primer. This primer has been wonderful. So this is the Revlon Photo Ready Candid foundation. It's a natural finish anti-pollution foundation, and it looks so good on the skin. It truly does. And I'm in the shade 200 Nude, and I absolutely love this. Absolutely love it. Most foundations are a fluid ounce. This is 0.75, so you're not getting a whole ounce, but at least you're getting a pump. That's one good thing about it. So today I am going to use a brush to put it on. this is how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spread it out with my finger. If I need more, I'll get more. I think that should be good. Whoops. I'm just gonna use a brush. I'm back to brushes for the moment. They just make it quicker. When I use a brush, I like to pat it in, kind of like with a beauty blender. And then if I need to under my eye, I'll kind of do this motion, but then I still go back and pat because I don't want brush strokes. It just isn't flattering. So I've got it all on. I did self-tan the other night, so my body is a little darker than my face. However, I'm going to fix that with bronzer, so no need to fear. I don't know exactly why I'm into this at the moment, but I've been into mixing concealers, and it's actually kind of working. So I'm going to just, I've not tried this combination before, but I'm going to try it. I've tried these with other combinations, but I've not tried it with this. So I'm going to try this. But you can see like the difference in these. This one is my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade C 3.5. And then this is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And it's in the shade Vanilla. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the NYX here in the inner corner. Then I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution on out. By no means am I telling you to go buy a bunch of concealers. I'm just saying that I have a lot in my stash and collection, and I don't want them to go bad, so I'm going to use them up by mixing them. So I'm going to do with my brush. I like to take it out all the way up my cheekbone, and I'll even put it on my eyelid. That helps with my eyeshadow. I'll just say that I'm not 100% like, oh, I love this. This is not one of my favorites, but to mix it with others, I've been actually very pleased with it. So that was one of the reasons that I choose to mix this. If you can see here on the inner corner where I put the NYX, it has like a yellow orangey tint to it, and that helps with that those dark circles. See how it canceled out those dark circles? Still lightens and brightens, but it helps with the dark circles. And this combination is really good when I am self-tanned, not to be too brightening, because I don't want anything stark, you know, white when I am self-tan, because that's just not going to look very well, very good. It's not going to go well with my skin. When you self-tan, you do have to think about those things. However, bronzer can fix everything, so you don't necessarily have to go out and buy new everything. But, you know, bronzers can be your best friend when you self-tan. You can build those up. But since I have this huge makeup collection that I have more than I'll ever need or should have, really, I'm just going to use what I've got. I'm going to go back with my NYX, and I'm going to go down my nose just a little, forehead, and chin. And I'm just going to put like a dot of this in with it, just so it matches kind of. So I like to take my little concealer brush, as flat and dense, and I like to just get those little fine lines. Okay, the foundation does have a natural finish. I should have showed you that before we did concealer, but nonetheless, how many times in the videos do I say nonetheless? Tons. I know. I'm sorry. So the foundation itself does have a natural finish, and if you are not a matte, if you're not oily and looking for a matte finish, you don't have to set your whole face. I would suggest, if you do have fine lines under your eyes, definitely set your concealer. But if you're not needing an all over matte look because you're oily, don't set your whole face. I, of course, am looking for an all over matte look. Something I did yesterday that I got a lot of compliments on my makeup is I didn't use a setting powder. I used this Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer, which is not a bronzer, it's just a powder. Literally, it's like a pressed powder. So I got a lot of compliments on it, and I thought, I'm gonna try that again, because it doesn't make the face look as cakey. It makes it look very natural. So I'm gonna try this again today. So I set my whole face with that. As you can see, it's not as matte as it normally would be. I still have a little bit of shine, and it looks more natural, I think, than it normally would. However, it did mattify it. I'm not saying that it didn't, but I don't feel like it's as matte as it normally is. So we're gonna try that out and just see. I'm just gonna let you see my face routine really quick. I'll do the rest of my face, the rest of my makeup, and then come back, show you my finished product. But this is something I've been enjoying here lately. It's a contour palette from Catrice Cosmetics. It has the contour, bronze, and highlight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bronze with this middle shade. And then I have this little contour brush. I'm going to dip into this ashy contour shade. Make myself a little bit of a cheekbone. I like to take, what I did just now, as I took my sponge and I dipped it into this highlight shade, and I just took it just a little bit, not a stark white, but just enough to kind of highlight this here to make that contour kind of stand out a little bit more. And it was a dry sponge too, it wasn't wet. So I'm going to take and dip into that highlight shade again and just go under my eyes to kind of brighten. Now this is not a highlight shade that's like, this is a matte highlight shade. It's not one that has like shimmer in it for highlighting cheekbones. So this is good for underneath the eye. Do you see the difference in this eye and that eye? I see that this one's a lot brighter. Now I'm just going to dust this away. It doesn't really leave too harsh of a line. I just want it to be a little bit. And I do need to blend this. Do you see how chunky that is? Sometimes I think I have my contour blended out and I don't. Okay, so that's the majority of my face makeup. I'm gonna do highlight and blush and all that good stuff, but I'll be back and I'll show you the finished product in just a minute. Okay guys, I'm finished with everything. I used the Selena palette again. I did pretty much everything the same that I did in the latest video that I showed, except I used this glitter this time instead of the pink. And I didn't do any color on my lower lash line, just because there wasn't anything to go with my outfit today, really. Everything else is pretty much the same. I don't think I changed anything else up. Did the same highlight and same blush. Actually, the blush combo was a little bit different. I did the same palette, but I did this shade called Beat, and I put a little bit of this Goals with it. So Beat and Goals I just mixed together. So anyway, I really enjoy this foundation. And I think that it's one of the better drugstore foundations out there. It gives you a very nice natural finish, and I just think it's beautiful, honestly. And I personally, because I'm matte, need this primer with it. I can't think what I'm trying to think. But I do need this primer with it for mattifying and the pore filling. I just really enjoy the combination of these two together. If you are normal to dry skin, you just need something that will fill your pores, you know, then just get a pore filling primer. If you just want something that's hydrating, get a hydrating primer or a luminous primer, you know, whatever you're looking for, just look for that specific. A dewy primer, you know, they're all different kinds, but for me personally, I need matte. And so this is a mattifying primer and a pore filling primer, so it fulfills those needs. And this is just a really great foundation. I just really enjoy it, and I think that it's a really good one to come from the drugstore. So prices of everything will be linked down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm giving you some great alternatives. Ordering from Target right now in the quarantine and all this mess we're in has been a really nice thing to do. I get things very quickly from them, just FYI, and I really like their products. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, bye.